Good evening, Spartans. Welcome to the Stay Home Spartans lockdown sessions number who knows anymore. Who knows? So we have got a little bit of mobility and a little bit of core work to get through this evening. So why don't we get going? So what we're going to start off with, guys, as we quite often do, is going to be our walkouts. The difference with these walkouts is going to be that I want you to walk out as far as is possible on every rep. Okay, so what I want you to try to do is try and create a bridge where you get your belly as close to the floor as possible. So if I was showing you this from the side, what's going to happen is we walk out, but rather than stopping in the press-up position, we're going to continue and try and walk out to that bridge position and back in. Now the further you walk, the more challenging this becomes. Okay, so the further you walk out, the more challenging this becomes. Try not to walk to a position where you collapse on the floor, but try and keep your body as low down to the floor as you can. We're going for 1 minute, so that 1 minute is already going. Again, as low as you can to the floor. When you're as low as you can, walk yourself back. If you can't walk back, if you walk too far and you get stuck, just break at the knees and allow the knees to hit the floor before you clamber back up. Don't hurt yourself in the process. So it is that walk out and walk back in with the hands. Try and create that long position through the core as much as you can. Try and create yourself as flat as possible, as flat, as low to the floor as possible, as low as you can get. What we're doing there is really bracing through the core. What we're doing is really bracing through the core as much as possible. From there, in 15 seconds, keep going, 1, maybe 2 more reps. So again, that long walk out. From there, you're going to break down into all fours. Okay, ready and change. So you're onto all fours, both knees, both hands. And what I want you to try to do is we're going to try and create that camel and cat. So camel and cat. Just that work between the two. Arch and round of the back. So again, that arch and round, arch and round each time. So just working between them. Don't force the movement. We're then going to introduce a little bit of rotation into the movement. Now there's 2 ways you can do this rotation. You can either reach your hand through, try and get the side of your head onto the floor, and then from there up into the air and reach through and up into the air. Notice I'm keeping both knees on the floor. Your other option is to pop hand on your head and then it goes elbow to opposite knee and up into the air. So the key thing remains the same on both. We go for that big rotation through the spine, through the middle of the body. So if you're, no matter which one you're doing, the movement comes from your body twisting, not from you just lifting your hand up into the air and not twisting through the body. Want you to keep alternating 5 right and 5 left on there. 5 right and 5 left. So again, from the side, just to do the other side, you can reach through, get that twist through as much as you can, and rotate up, and then repeat. Or you can do the option where you have hand on the back of the head, knee to opposite elbow, so it's across the body, and twist up into the air. Your choice, your choice. So again, 5 on each side, keep alternating between those, We're going to work a little bit on some of our bear squat and bear plank variations. Let me try and get this off. And that. So we're going to go for some of our bear squat and our bear plank variations. So what we're going to come into, guys, is just going to be 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest. 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest. So the first 30 seconds, what we're going to do is our bear plank. So hands underneath the shoulders, and what I want you to do is you're just going to lift your knees just off the floor and you're going to hold that position. Okay? We're going to start that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So 30 seconds of work, let's go to it. So I'm going to take this off, show you my horrendous tan line. Because I'm never taking my watch off. And again, just keep the knees just off the floor, and you're going to hold that position. So last 10 seconds, keep breathing, keep pulling belly button in. This is your tower of power. Our tower of power. Time. Okay, relax, let those knees drop to the floor. 30 seconds to recover. We'll take that time. Just a nice dynamic upper body stretch. So it comes across, swap the hand. That's on top each time. Try and keep head up. Just getting that light stretch through the chest. The next one we're going to come into is going to be a dynamic version of that same move. A dynamic version. So we're going to do the same thing. So in 5 seconds, I want you to start off with the basic bear. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. But from there, we're going to try and keep our shoulders forward, bum up, knees down. Bum up, knees down. So notice I'm not rocking forward and back an awful lot. All I'm doing is raising up and back down. Raising up and back down. So 30 seconds, you've still got another 10 seconds working those two moves. So up and down, up and down. That's the only difference in this one. Good, relax, 30 seconds to recover. Again, we'll look at a little bit of upper body just to loosen up again. So this time, swinging up into the air and swap. So each time you come up, one hand behind the other, just that swap, and give that little push. So you just get that little drive back down through the shoulders. Again, we start off with that basic bear position. This time we're going to come into crawl forward, crawl back, crawl forward, crawl back, just the feet. So ready, and 3, 2, 1, knees up. So this time all I want you to do is just knees in, knees out, knees in, knees out. And I'm trying to keep my hips quite level. I'm not going up and stepping in and out. I'm trying to keep down nice and low, and it's that step forward, step back. So again, some of you forwards will recognize that from the scrum. That is your tower of power position, your driving position. You never want to get crumpled up too much. You want to be quite strong in that squat movement. You want to be quite strong in that scrum movement. Okay guys, relax, relax. We're now going to take it a bit more shoulder focused. So I'll turn front on. Our next one we're going to try and do is try and do level through the shoulders, but you're going to try and stay in that bear plank position. So you've got to really brace through the core. Going to try and go in 3, 2, 1, lift up and lift one hand. So we're going to try and stay as level as possible. Feel a real twist through the core, because your core has to work really hard to try and keep you stable. Try and keep your shoulders as level as possible. I don't actually know until I see this video how successful I'm being. Got to work really, really hard in that one for the full 30 seconds. Relax. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to swap over, we're going to do the same thing on the other side this time. So same principle, flat on the floor, the hand, grip the floor. So try and press your fingertips into the floor as much as you can. But you're going to try and keep your body stable, shoulders level, hips level. Going in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, knees up, hand up. And again, this hand can go wherever it wants. I like to put it somewhere on my core. Hold my belly in, number 1, but number 2, check that I am engaging my core. Should feel the muscles working hard in that position. 10 more seconds. Trying to stay level through the hips, level through the shoulders. I'm sure you can hear in my voice how difficult that is. Good. Relax. So, we're going to take that to the next stage. So again, we're going to do those hips up, hips down, but on one hand this time. So this is much harder to control that movement. So again, we brace through the core. Now this obviously replicates quite well in the scrum and in the rock and in the maul, but it will do wonders for any core activity. So we're going again, 3, 2, 1. So knees up, hand up, and this time hips up, knees down. Hips up, knees down. So it's actually easier on the core, but we're really stabilizing through the shoulder as much as we can. So again, hips up, knees down. Hips up, knees down. You've got to stabilize through the core as best you can. Try not to let your knees hit the floor till the very end in 3, 2, 1, and time. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Same thing on the other side. From there, then we're going to come into a little bit of shoulder stability, more shoulder stability work. Sorry, excuse me. Last 7 seconds. So we're going to go again. So it goes hand down, knees up, hand up, again. Up into that hips up position, knees down. Hips up, knees down. So again, stabilizing through the shoulder, doing my best to keep my shoulder forward. Easier said than done. We're going to go for the full 30 seconds. You've still got 10 more to go. Going in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax, 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 relax. So, well done on that one. We're now going to look at some tabletops, okay, also known as some crab walks, but we're not going to walk anywhere. We're going to actually work on really stabilizing through the shoulder in the backwards position, so one that doesn't get worked as much. So, now this one, guys, you may not want to advance. If you've had any shoulder issues, just be careful with this one. Obviously, if you are currently having any shoulder issues, maybe avoid it entirely. It goes without saying, guys, that if anything is painful, stop immediately, okay? It should not be painful. It might be uncomfortable, it might be tiring, but it should not be painful. So, what we're going to try and do is work in different positions. So the first one is fingertips backwards. So you'll notice my hands are pointing back behind me. And all we're going to look for is just a set of 10 reps. So 10 reps, just nice and easy. We're going to drive your heels into the floor, lift your hips as high as you can, and back down. So again, 10 reps, where the hands pointing backwards. Good. So we're going to keep that going for 10 reps. I think that was 6 I did. So we're going to keep going. Now the next one, you guys can swap straight over. It's just going to take some of the pressure off the wrists, because we're going to go fingertips out. So we're going to go fingertips to the walls, either side of you. Or in my case, the camera and the wall behind. Going again for another 10 reps. Give yourself roughly 30 seconds in between. Roughly. But again, going for hips up, create that tabletop, and back down. We're getting that bridge up. Try and squeeze the shoulders back. Create that space through the chest. You'll feel probably quite intense stretch through the front of the chest, through the front of the shoulders. After you've done 10, again, shake out the arms if you need to. When you've done those 10, fingertips forward. So fingertips point in the same direction that you're facing. And again, bridge up. So again, get those hips high as you can get. Working through that shoulder position, trying to brace through the shoulders as much as possible. Good. Once you've done those 10 reps, you're going to give yourself a full minute to recover. So I think that'll be roughly about the right time. We're now going to repeat the same circuit again, okay? We're going to repeat the same circuit. So we've got about a minute's rest where you can grab yourself a drink. Lots of this session, guys, is focused on stability and mobility, okay? So we're looking at making sure that, number one, you are mobile, so you're able to move when we get back out on the rugby pitch the week after next. No, week after this one, what am I saying? Yes, we're almost there. But also, when you're able to move, you are able to do so in such a way that you do not injure yourself. There's no good being able to move your arm if you're going to dislocate it every time you lift it above your head. You want to be stable through those positions as well. So again guys, we're going to go through 10 reps of each. We're starting with fingertips back, so pointing back behind you. And again, we're going to go for 10 reps. Again, take this at your own pace. If you need to pause this video because you need a bit of extra time, that's fine. But again, elbows straight or elbows even slightly bent, whichever feels more comfortable. Hips up and back down. Again, we're creating that stretch through the shoulders. Again, if it's painful, ease off, skip this part of the video, maybe go get it checked out. Now, notice I'm not doing this at a speed to get out of breath. You might get out of breath, you might find it tough, but the goal is not to get your heart rate up. This isn't a fitness exercise. This is stability and mobility. So again, once you've done 10 there, fingertips out to the sides, and again, another 10 bridge. We bridge up, hips up, and back down. Hips up, and back down. Now every time you come back down, try and get your hips towards your hands. So notice, if I come down, my hands are almost alongside my hips, so it creates that most movement around the shoulder, and I come back again. What I'm not trying to do is hips up and drop down here, because that just gets me further away. So every time, every rep, I finish back there. So it's up and back again. Is what we're doing. So again, once you've done those 10, fingertips forward, and same again, so elbows locked out, elbows slightly bent, whichever feels more comfortable to you. I prefer a very slight bend. What's that? Hips up and back, hips up and back down. Again, get that moving. Again, 10 reps, 10 reps, nice and easy, nice and easy. Now at the end of this one, we're not going to go into rest, we're going to go into your W and I's, your WIs. So what we're going to work on is we're going to go for 10 on your belly, 10 on your back. Both exercises is the same, well, virtually the same. You're going to create that W shape with your arms, and then the I shape with your body. W, I, W, I. Working between the two positions. The first one, belly down. You try and keep your arms off the floor. The second one, belly up. You try and keep your arms on the floor. So I'm going to demo both of those. So, first one, belly down, arms off the floor, and it's just that stretch out and back down. So we're just working on that stability each time. Now if you find any pressure on your neck, just tuck your chin in, rest your forehead on the floor, and continue. Once you've done 10 reps, roll over, hands on the floor, stretch out, tuck in, stretch out, tuck in. So 10 reps. Trying to keep your hands, trying to keep your arms in touch with the floor. Now again, you'll notice I'm not quite going for that I shape. I'm keeping my hands a little bit wider. That's because I've got some shoulder issues that I need to work on myself. Go to your own flexibility. You might find you can only do that. You tuck in, roll back out, that's fine, as long as you're working on it. Equally, you might find that when you reach up, or when you tuck in, you can't keep your arm in touch with the floor. That's fine, as long as you're trying to get it down is more important than keeping it down. So the action of trying to keep it there, or as close to the floor, is more important than having it on the floor. Once you've done 10 there, you're going to roll back over onto your belly. We're going to go for 2 more minutes. So this is really important, just that stretch out, back in, just really trying to get blood pumping into the shoulders. As soon as you've done 10 reps, roll over. And again, hands off the floor when you're on your belly. Hands on the floor when you're on your back. Now again, I've just chosen 10 as a manageable number. If you want to do 15 or 20 and just keep swapping after those higher numbers, that's fine. Equally, if your shoulders get tired quite quickly, and if you want to swap after every 5 reps, that's fine. Just make sure it's even on the front and back. So If you do 10 on the front, you have to do 10 on the back. If you do 20 on the front, you have to do 20 on the back, and so on. Keep working. You're approaching 2 minutes, I think. Maybe I misread my watch. But again, we're just working between those two positions. The next one is going to be on your back again. We're doing a lot of mobilization through this one. So arms out, flat to the sides, try and get them in touch with the floor. And all I want you to do is just start off, let your knees rock from side to side. We're just looking at that hip rock from side to side. Nice and easy. Now if you want to make that more intense, notice how I'm just letting my knees fall where they may. You can make that more intense by getting your feet, your ankles and your knees together and keeping them together. So notice now that I'm getting a deeper twist. Well, it would be if I wasn't rolling over on top of the car keys. So a deeper twist to that side and then a deeper twist to that side. So it just becomes, again, you can make that a little bit more intense if you lift your feet from the floor. So press your lower back into the floor and now it becomes that rock from side to side. So again, try to control that movement. Try not to fall your knees to the side. You're in control of that movement. Try and keep your shoulders flat on the floor. So try not to roll, because if you roll, you don't get a twist, or if your shoulder lifts up, you're not getting an effective twist. Keep your shoulders flat so you maximize that twist as much as you can. Again, if you want to change that even more, you could go even further by crossing one leg over and twisting into it that way, which gets you a really, really deep twist. And then from there, unravel. Same thing on the other side, really deep twist. So again, we get that twist through the middle of the body each time. Good. Okay, so again, work through that. I'm going to spend another 30 seconds. Again, all we're looking to do is just rotate, just to loosen the hips, loosen the lower back as much as possible. We're then going to take it into the next stage, which is our 90-90 stretch. Okay, so 15 seconds, keep working on that. I'm going to get myself in position for this next one. So, the next one, guys, is a 90-90 stretch. Move the keys out of the way. Now you can have your hands on the floor or hands off the floor. This is the point where I hope I haven't got a hole in my shorts. So I want you to bring your feet far enough apart that you can put both knees on the floor. So I've got inside of my right knee and the outside of my left knee on the floor. From that position, if I've got my hands on the floor, I've just got to lean back and come into it there. And again, all I'm doing is just rocking from side to side, just trying to get my hips moving as much as I can. If I want to take that to the next stage, now these are all optional. You don't need to take it to the next stage. You go to the most effective one for you, whether that's still lying on your back, just rocking your knees from side to side, or whether you are circus trickster and you need something more advanced than I can provide. So the next one, hands off the floor, so you've got to brace through the core to try and get that side to side motion. So again, outside of one knee, inside of the other, big twist, both knees end up on the floor. If you want it to be a bit more intense, pull the feet a bit closer to the hips. That makes it a bit more challenging on the core. I genuinely don't know whether I can do this one myself. Ooh, just about. And again, that rock from side to side. We'll spend another 30 seconds working between those two positions. Another 30 seconds. And the last one that we're going to work on in terms of stability and mobility today is going to be our ankle stability. Okay, so something we've done a fair bit of before. We're going to work with our hamstring. But we're going to look at just single leg balance work, single leg balance. Okay guys, time. Bring yourselves up onto your feet. So what we're going to finish off with is some single leg balance. So what I want you to do, balance on one foot, lift the other foot off the floor, and soft knee on the standing leg. Because hopefully, on a rugby field, you won't ever have to be in that position with your leg fully locked out. It's not really a good position to get into. Soft knee allows you to react, allows you to cushion the impact, allows you to move around a lot better. So you're going to try and keep that foot off the floor. Now, even that alone, just keeping that foot off the floor, is an ankle stability exercise. That will help build your ankle stability. So if you're prone to sprained ankles, to rolling your ankle, anything like that, guys, this will help strengthen it. However, if that feels quite easy, you can take it to the next stage. Okay, so you have just swap foot just for the sake of this. You guys swap as often as you need to. You take it to the next stage. So again, standing leg, soft knee. I'm going to take it to the next stage. So I can either go up onto my knee. I can add in a bit of rotation. So like I'm passing a rugby ball. Obviously that throws off your balance even more. Or you can keep your foot close to the floor but not touching, and then try and rise up. Oh, not particularly good there, but try to rise up on your toes. So you're going to try and hold on one foot at elevated position. Because again, it is all well and good being able to stabilize your ankle when it is well planted nicely into the floor. Now don't get me wrong, that's a good thing, it is necessary. However, if you stretch out, if you're running, you may land on your toes or the ball of your foot, and that's when your ankle is most likely to go. So if you can stabilize while you're in that position, that will make things so much easier for you. Because if you can stabilize in that position, I can't guarantee no ankle injuries, but I can guarantee there'll be a lot less. So again, swap as often as you need to. You might not be good on the balance. I'm wobbling all over the place. You can see that on the video, but it doesn't need to be perfect. In fact, the action of it being imperfect will probably make you improve quicker. We're going to do our last 30 seconds, just balancing. Every time you fall or every time you have to put your foot down, swap to the other side. So if I tip over to the other side and tip it. So, as always guys, that was me at Neil Gallagher Training on Facebook, on Instagram. Taking the session today. If you have any feedback, let your teammates know, let your captains know. They can feedback to me, they can help me out, they can give me pointers, give me that little bit of feedback, and I can improve future sessions. But for now, well done for anybody following this on YouTube, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. This is Neil Gallagher Training signing off.